What up, YouTube? Welcome back to Unscripted X. Today, I wanted to show you guys another brilliant way to study for the ASVAB Arithmetic Reasoning section of the exam. If you have last minute, in case say you had about a week or a couple of days to cram the test and to go take it, another way of maybe cramming all the concepts that you needed to understand before going up to the test is this. So let's take, for example, this. Let's use this arithmetic reasoning test as an example in case you needed to study and cram all the information in there. You can watch YouTube videos, you can try to study the concepts, but if you don't have sufficient time, you're going to need some assistance, right? Some sort of co-pilot to help you understand these concepts quite well before going into the test. And so in that scenario, this is like an emergency scenario. And you could probably also use this in combination with whatever techniques that you're already using to do well in the exam. But these days, with the level of AI that we have available, I feel like this is one of the best ways to study for the exam. So for instance, say you came in there, you didn't know anything in terms of the arithmetic reasoning test. Maybe it's been a couple of years or who knows, decades since you've done any math. Then this is one way of doing the exam. So let's start. So the first question here is, if a car is towed 12 miles to the repair shop and the tow charge is $3.50 per mile, how much does the tow cost? Obviously, this is, pretty easy, but say, you haven't done math for a while, you didn't know how to do this. Another way to do this would be to use ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT, when you do something like this and you want ChatGPT to help you out, you'll need to either copy, to make it easier for yourself, you need to copy the whole question plus the multiple choice as well. So then you come to ChatGPT, you paste the question and the answer options in ChatGPT, and then you hit enter. Now, mind you, ChatGPT, this is the free version of ChatGPT, so this is freely available to everyone. So see, now ChatGPT works out the problem, tells you exactly what the answer is and how it obtained the answer. It says the tow cost, which is distance towed times the tow charge per mile. The distance towed was 12 miles times the $3.50 per mile. So when you multiply the 12 times the $3.50, you get $42. And so the answer in this case would be C. So ChatGPT breaks down the work, how exactly the answer was obtained. Now let's try this for number 2. We do the same thing. We copy the question in addition to the answer options. We paste it into ChatGPT. ChatGPT goes about trying to solve this. And this time around, it got the answer option A. Now you see how ChatGPT is now breaking down exactly how the answer was obtained. It says, so let's read the question. It says the sum of two numbers is 70. One number is 8 more than the other. What's the smaller number, right? So here, ChatGPT is breaking down a question or breaking down a problem. It says, let's denote the smaller number as X. According to the given information, the other number is 8 more than the smaller number. So the larger number is X plus 8. And then the second thing that ChatGPT did is that it says the sum of the two numbers is what? 70. And so it took the X, which represents the smaller number here, which represents the smaller number here, and then it added it to the bigger number, which it established previously that would be X plus 8. So when you add X plus 8 and then set it equal to 70, then you can solve for what the value of X is, right? In this case, you get 2X plus 8 is equal to 70. You subtract the 8 from both sides of the equation, and then you get 2X is equal to 62. You solve for X by dividing the 2 by both sides of the equation, and you get X is equal to 31. And so the answer option in this case is 31. Now you see how brilliantly all this is broken down for ChatGPT. Now, mind you, this is a free service that you have at your disposal for studying for the ASVAB, right? So we go back again to question number 3. You see how this works. I mean, this is absolutely brilliant. Now you absolutely have a personal teacher, man, personal tutor at your disposal for free. I mean, how amazing is this? Now look at this. The same thing happens with each and every question that you post in here. ChatGPT will break it down for you, show you exactly how it obtains the answer. Now for this one, for instance, look, it got D. It breaks down exactly how the answer is obtained. Provides you with an explanation for this one as well. You see, the question says a sales manager buys antacid in bottles by, I'm not sure if that's how to pronounce that, but let's assume that that was antacid in bottles by the gross. If he goes through 3 bottles of antacid every day, how long will the gross last, right? And then ChatGPT again is breaking down. It says the gross is a dozen, which means it contains 12 times 12, which is 144 items. And then if the sales manager goes through 3 bottles of antacid every day, we can calculate how long the gross will last by dividing the total number of bottles and the gross by the daily consumption, right? So the daily consumption is 3 bottles of antacid per day. So you just take the 144 and divide it by 3, and that gives you 48, and that shows you how many days this will take. Now you see how brilliantly this is also done. And then it says it tells you, it actually picks an answer option. It says, so the correct answer is D, 48 days. So that is how this one goes. You can also look. So, I mean, for now, I'm going to show you guys in case we were giving it all this. I mean, this goes on, right? So look at this. I mean, how amazing is this? Again, we put it in, we give it the whole question plus the multiple choice options, and then ChatGPT will go on to answer it for us, right? For this question, it said Jenny's grades are 93, 89, 69, 96, and then 98, right? So give me a second. It says Jenny's test grades are 93, 89, 96, and 98. If she wishes to raise her grade to 95, what does she need to score on her next test? Now look at this. The average that Jenny's trying to get is 95, right? And so ChatGPT goes on, it starts by saying, let's calculate Jenny's current average. Jenny's current average is just the 93, 89, 96 plus the 98, and then divided by the 4, which is the 4 test scores, right? And then when you do that, you get 95. So, I mean, you get 94. You get current average is 94. Now, Jenny wants to get 95. Wants to score an average of 95 for the next test, or average out her 5 tests. After she takes the next test, she wants her average to come down to 95. And so what they do is ChatGPT just sets up, it takes the 4 averages that it had previously, which equaled 94, and then add the next test that Jenny is going to be taking, and then divide it by 5 to get 95 average, right? So now we just need to solve for what this next score would need to be to average out to be 95. And ChatGPT goes on to solve for it. With these questions, you can what you could do is just multiply the 5 on both sides of the equation. So you get the 95 times 5, you get 475. And then you also add all this up, right? The 93, 89, 96 plus the 98, which gives you 376. And then you can subtract the 376 from both sides of the equation. So the 475 minus the 376, that gives you 99. And that tells you that Jenny would need to score 99 on the next test to average out to be 95. Absolutely brilliant. Just brilliant. I mean, imagine, seeing all these steps. And if you don't understand any of the steps, you can ask ChatGPT to explain it further. All right. So that's just brilliant. So for instance, say we didn't know for this one, we didn't know what happened to this 5 here in the denominator. We can ask ChatGPT, hey, chat, hey, what happened to the 5 in the denominator? So let's see what ChatGPT did not. Give me a second here. Yep. And then let's see what ChatGPT's explanation will be. See, ChatGPT goes on to explain exactly what happened to the 5. It says that from this 5 here, now multiply both sides by 5 to get rid of the 5 in the denominator, right? Exactly as I was explaining, but now it's broken down even further for you in case you didn't understand any of the steps. I mean, how amazing is this? This is just absolutely ridiculous, and this is free. So now let's go on. Let's go on to question number 5. Question number 5, we do the same. We copy the whole question plus the multiple choice options. We paste it in here. And again, ChatGPT gives you all the steps for solving this question. And if you don't understand any of the steps, you can just ask it to explain it further and it'll break it down even more. Right? So look at this. So we get B for this one, which is 45. Now we're just going to rush through this. Let's rush through this. So number 6, assuming that you understood or understand ChatGPT's explanation, we move on to question number 6. Again, we get an answer, right? We get D. We go back to question number 7. I mean, look at the breakdown. This is just mind blowing, man. Mind blowing. You essentially have a genius math tutor, man, at your disposal for free. I mean, how brilliant is this? How brilliant is this? Right? And it works. It works it all out for you, and then picks an answer option for you. Right? C. This is just mind boggling, man. So we go back. We do number 8. Again, all the steps are provided. I mean, all the steps are provided to you get your answer. And if any of the steps doesn't make sense, just like you can ask your tutor, if you had a tutor, you can ask him or her how that step worked. You can ask ChatGPT to clarify things, further for you. I mean, this is just who would have thought, that in a few years we'd come this far. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Try this for number 9. And again, we get an answer. Let's try number 10. So you see, at this point, you kind of see how this works, right? This is just having your own personal AI, man, at your disposal to help you out with math. In case, I don't think anyone is naturally good at math, but imagine having a tutor like this at your disposal, man. Free. So there isn't anything you can't study these days, man, with ChatGPT at your disposal. And yep, number 10 solved. We get what? We get C. We move on to 11. So I'm just doing all this to show you that there really isn't a question here that ChatGPT can solve, at least on the arithmetic reasoning. Okay, so it looks like option A didn't come through. Option A was like 3/4. Okay. All right, so the correct answer is C, which is 12. Even though option A didn't come through, which was 3/4, it looks like that wasn't the answer. So we're not going to worry too much about it. We go on to question number 12. This time around, I'm making sure that all the answer options came through. So this is a brilliant way, a much more efficient way to study for the exam, right? If you can't afford a tutor, or I mean, sometimes even the YouTube videos, you may have to watch a couple of videos just to come upon the specific question that you want. Imagine if you could just go directly to ChatGPT, post the exact question that you're having issues understanding, and having step-by-step breakdown of how to do the problem. I mean, if this isn't brilliant, I don't know what else is, right? And hopefully you're using this, you're following ChatGPT's steps on how to do these problems. Because mind you, you can't take ChatGPT with you to the exam, but you could definitely understand ChatGPT's breakdown on how to do these questions, so that when you do show up to the exam, you know exactly what to do, and you could do well, right? So that's mainly what the main goal of this is, right? In case you're at a crunch for time, you need to understand these questions, or these questions. Yeah, you need to understand these questions ASAP, and you can't afford a tutor. ChatGPT is freely at your disposal to break down any problems that you may be running into, or break down things for you. This is just to show you another tool at your disposal for acing the ASVAB. I mean, this is just a bulletproof way of really acing the ASVAB if you can't afford a tutor. And even if you could afford a tutor, I mean, it's not everything that your tutor would be available to solve for you, right? And so you can use ChatGPT in combination with your tutor to truly maximize your score. So again, this is one of the tools at you guys' disposal for all of you guys studying for the ASVAB. I mean, I wanted to show you guys that there's a tool at your disposal that you can use to absolutely ace the test, right? To blow it out of the water. This tool is at your disposal. And if you found this video to be helpful, as much as it's been helpful to me, do make sure to hit the like button. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section, and subscribe to the channel. There's going to be a great deal of bangers like these coming, so be on the lookout, and spread the word, man. Share, subscribe, and do all that, man. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.